When it comes to creepy stuff going bump in the night, it's always ideal to have footage of what you're talking about. Today we have the whole gambit: haunted house, haunted doll, kitchen chaos, a moving chair, and a place so creepy with moving things that it made professional ghost hunters upchuck. Question for you: what's the wildest moving object video you've ever seen? Let me know in the comments and let's get into it. Because it's me, and I love creepy dolls, we're kicking off today with the Agnes porcelain doll that's been haunting its owners over in Scotland. Yvonne Hydes is an events manager for the Scottish Ghost Company, and she's organized paranormal investigations across the country. And during an event at Easter House's Proven Hall, she received an old-looking doll from one of the members. And she's like, okay, I'll take it home. Placed it in her spare room, and some stuff went down. Now, we do have video footage of the chaos that's been happening around the house. And the bizarre series of paranormal activity culminated in an investigation in a park where Yvonne is adamant she saw the creepy doll blink. She told a news outlet that one of the members' friends had brought the dolls to him after being on holiday, and they bought it from a charity shop, and that's not unusual for her to get like a doll with a weird backstory. A lot of the dolls she has are hand-me-downs, but they don't bother her. This doll though, the night she arrived, so Yvonne mentioned that her friend David, who works as a medium, absolutely hates the doll. When Yvonne brought the doll home, he was like, keep that thing in the garage, I don't want to be near it. And also, if having weird feelings wasn't proof enough, Yvonne's Cocker Spaniel took a dislike to the doll immediately. Started barking at the doll, shaking, which animals are very, very susceptible to weird spirits. One day, Yvonne came downstairs and saw one of her really heavy lamps sitting in the middle of the living room. Now her son came in and she was like, did you do this? He's like, nope, no I didn't. And after that, more objects were being moved each morning and weird electrical things started to happen. So apparently Yvonne has this like vacuum that's programmed to come out at 10:30 each night, and one morning she was turning off the lights and it just flew out and did its own thing. And she looked online, because it's supposed to be all techie and whatnot, and it wasn't registered as being active. So David was like, fine, I'll bring the doll home with me, see what I can figure out. Well, throughout the night he reported knocking and footsteps that just didn't make sense. So I already mentioned this a little bit. They took the doll to a park to figure something out. They did this live stream, I think it was on TikTok and Facebook. They tied a red light around Agnes's neck because they wanted the spirit to transfigure its face onto the doll. And during the process, the doll definitely blinked. Now the team was like, well, do we bury it? Do we keep it? They decided to keep it. See what happens. So I don't think this is the last time we're going to hear about Agnes causing mischief. Ever balance on a chair so stupidly that when it eventually tips, you blame the chair instead of your own stupidness? Well, today we have video of a chair doing a whoopsie without any human involvement. How about that? The owners of Cronies, a bar and restaurant in Ventura County, California, were at a loss for words after a surveillance video from the restaurant showed a bar stool falling over on its own with no patrons or staff inside. This video was uploaded to social media and it went pretty viral. And there's actually two different clips. So one is from, like I said, after the establishment, already closed for the day, the bar stool does what it does. But then the other clip, which was captured during operating hours, you can see a chair lined up against a table and then it leans back and there's nobody near it. You can even see a patron go up to it and like fiddle with it because it's like, yo, the chair. One of the co-owners, David Fold, said, like, for this to happen, it's creepy. It's weird. We've been here 27 years. Nothing like this has ever happened. And it wasn't like a Halloween stunt. The guy was just confused. Now, customers weren't frightened by it. They were like, okay, well, it's funny, it's interesting. One guy was like, you know what, I'm okay until it's my chair that moves, which, amen. Another customer, apparently a regular, Juan Munoz, said, so many people come here and go. Maybe it's haunted. Now, one of the co-owners was like, yeah, we do have some good spirits here. He referred to a lot of the photos that covered the walls of the restaurant from customers and employees who no longer hang out there. Now, he does have an idea of who might have been causing this chaos. Apparently there was two men who used to frequent the bar often, Ralph and Don. They were the first originals, and they passed away. So he's blaming it on them. Pardon me, I'm just gonna go bolt down my office chair. No reason. In my experience, when paranormal experts are sounding the alarm about what goes on in their home, it's time to listen and worry. So there's this couple that claim they've been forced to flee not one, not two, but like 3 houses to escape an aggressive spirit haunting them after the husband had a near-death experience. And we've got the footage that shows pens and TVs moving on their own. Nick Summers believes an entity has latched onto him after his heart stopped 3 times following a work accident, leaving his wife Kinsey so scared that she had to sleep in hotels. He thinks he formed a connection with the afterlife because of the near-death experience and suspects that the spirit latched onto him while investigating an abandoned hospital. So I think this was all reported while they were living in house 2 out of 3. and that's when things got really crazy. Footage from a camera set up to capture the ordeal showed a previously motionless pen dramatically rolling across a coffee table while the couple's just, like watching TV. Another clip shows a spoon spinning around in a coffee cup while Nick is sitting on the sofa with his dog, and a third captures the couple's TV falling from the wall without explanation. Nick has also described seeing orbs in the living room. He claims he and his wife were driven out of one home after Nick saw the ghost of a girl in the living room. Like one morning, he just woke up and he felt like something was there. Told his wife, okay, stay in bed, and he went into the living room and saw this female spirit. And it was the most detailed, scary experience of his life. She looked younger, her outline was vibrating, and there was like a light blue around her. She was also wearing like old floral print PJs, just like a regular old nightie. She was looking at the window, and then all of a sudden she just evaporated. Well, Nick screamed to Kinsey, "I just saw a ghost in the house!" So he tried to make contact. He asked the name, they said it was Dusty. He asked "Do you want us to stay in the house?" And the spirit started laughing. And the next day the ceiling caved in. And not a little ooh, it was an 8-foot circle. Apparently Nick managed to make contact using a spirit box, which I've heard a lot of people using them. They're kind of like an electronic Ouija board, which, my feelings on that, but whatever, I digress. So afterwards, this is when Nick and Kinsey moved to a new house 3 miles away, and then the activity got cranked up. Nick heard his voice being yelled all the time. Also, he had to change 14 to 20 light bulbs a month because they would just pop all the time. Now back to the first house, the intensity got so bad that the sink would turn on, Nick was getting hit with flying bottle caps, he would go in the kitchen and all the cupboards would be open like a horror movie. I think the creepiest thing that ever happened was that they saw a shadow the size of a fridge come out of their room, down the hall, stop in front of them, and go up into the ceiling. Could this be a modern day Donovan case situation? Because for me, the evidence points to yes. A spooked man believes his flat was haunted after he filmed objects appearing to move by themselves. The bizarre video, which was captured at the man's home in Fayetteville, North Carolina, in the US, shows a number of items falling off of the kitchen counter. This video was originally posted to Reddit, and a lot of users were convinced that the cup had a handle and it was moved by a piece of string. And I was too until I saw all the things moving. Because then the papers fluttered and I was like, okay, this is a little fan. But then the toaster went flying and I was like, okay, nope, this is real. The unnamed filmmaker who posted the video said, I came home to find a few things out of place, decided to review the footage because he was worried about a break-in. And it scared the absolute HE double hockey sticks out of him while watching it. He was like, I was probably being paranoid, but I felt like I could feel somebody or something looking at him. And he was seriously considering breaking his lease to move. So I checked the comments on the original Reddit post, and the man claimed a few things happened also in the bathroom and then in the living room, but nothing in the bedroom. It was primarily just in the kitchen. And he had no clue why. Apparently at the time he had lived there close to a year, and all of the chaos started happening about 2 months prior to posting. Now, all of this as a whole was about 7 years ago, and sadly the original post was deleted, so I don't have an update. And finally, let's talk about a spooky house where a group of ghost fanatics stayed the night, and this place was so haunted that it made some of them physically sick. This creepy home, dubbed the Hostel by paranormal experts, is notorious for its spooky aura, with stories of moving chairs, objects flying through the air, and candles blowing out. The 7-bedroom home in Hull, East Yorkshire, has even had ghostly faces appearing at its windows, leading to police break-ins. Becky Cook, one of the people brave enough to step inside, said spooky forces began to take hold as soon as the ghost hunting group passed through the front door. Things moved. 3 people upchucked. There was this amazing feeling of sickness that came over everybody. Doors opened on their own. One man even had a ball thrown at him. Ooh. Sue Thompson, another ghost hunter brave enough to step over the threshold, said it was a very exciting night. We got an amazing response from the table tipping, the seance, and the Ouija board. We have very different definitions of exciting. She's like, you always got the sense that something was standing behind you, and the experiments we carried out proved to me something was there. Clairvoyant Jillian Lockwood was another member of the group that entered the crazy place and also witnessed flying objects and bone-chilling sensations. She said we had one person get struck on the head with a ball and a number of names brought through the spirit box. She felt her hair being touched, she felt feelings of sickness and emotions. It was a fantastic night. Once again, we have different definitions of fantastic. She mentioned that they discovered the evil spirit of a man upstairs and then a woman and 3 descendants below. They got the name of Walter, dated from around 1840, who indicated he died after going the way of the rope necklace. Now Andy Yates, who actually owns this haunted property, said he's seen a lot of stuff going on over the years. Apparently he tried to rent the house out a couple of times, but the longest anybody has lasted? 4 days. Some people couldn't even return after measuring the house up for furniture. Yeah, nope, not on my must-travel list, never going there. Alrighty folks, that's it for me once again. I've been Alexa, your resident ooky spooky girly, and if you enjoyed my ramblings today, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more crazy video compilations from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you lovely spooky people.